Honourable Prime Minister, Sitiveni Rabuka. As always, sir, it's an honour to be on the stage with you, and thank you very much for being here. To Reverend Vivata, thank you very much for those inspirational words. It sets the tone for today, and I very much appreciate those. Permanent Secretary, welcome. Commissioner of Western, I'm not sure if he's here, but if he is, welcome. Representatives from Fiji ports, fellow members of the Diplomatic Corps, wanted to acknowledge Kitty as the head of protocol as well here. Ladies and gentlemen, Nisa Bulavanaka, and welcome to a really important event for me. I'd like to also start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land we meet on and pass on my respects to their elders, both past, present and emerging. And I wanted to start by really acknowledging today as International Women's Day and wishing all the women and girls here and across the world a special day as International Women's Day, and to acknowledge the importance of the theme of rights, equality and empowerment for all women and girls. And of course, we're lucky to see the Fijiana in action shortly in Lautoka after they fixed up last year's premiers and taught them a lesson last week. So very much looking forward to that as well. And of course, as I stand before you today, it's an honour, as I said, to be here with the Prime Minister with such an important milestone in our partnership between Australia and Fiji. And many of you know we share a deep bond, and one that's anchored in history, respect and shared aspirations for our prosperous and resilient Pacific. And our renewed and elevated Vivale partnership will continue to guide our work. And today we celebrate another concrete step, real progress in that journey. And I wanted to say to you, Prime Minister, that you've been the driver of our renewed and elevated Vivale partnership from the time you signed it 18 months ago. And that leadership, sir, has, in my view, put our partnership at a level it has never been at between our two countries. And I thank you very much for your leadership. And last year's signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on Port Infrastructure and Services by the Honourable Prime Minister with Australia's Minister for International Development in the Pacific, the Honourable Pat Conroy, here in Lautoka, affirmed Australia's commitment to strengthening Fiji's maritime sector. And today, I'm really pleased to officially present to the Prime Minister a report summarising stage one of the Fiji shipbuilding and ship repair study. And the Prime Minister and I will shortly unveil the concept design for a shipbuilding facility here in Fiji. And I know that shipbuilding is a big priority of the PM's, and since the time I've got here, he's been talking about the importance of re-establishing the shipbuilding facility here. And of course, the report reflects a collective effort of a wide range of stakeholders, including, of course, the Government of Fiji, private sector representatives, Fijian universities, which are going to be very critical, as well as other training organisations and international industry experts. This process has been very rigorous, ensuring that the recommended design is informed by market demand, customer needs, and Fiji's long-term ambitions for shipbuilding and repair services. The report finds that there is strong demand for ship repair and maintenance in Fiji and the Pacific region, with existing shipyard facilities operating at near full capacity. There is a clear opportunity for Fiji to strengthen its position as a regional hub for ship maintenance and vessel construction. The chosen site on which we stand today here in Lautoka, which the Prime Minister, I note, suggested some time ago as a good site, that's been confirmed by all the research that's been done. And I think the advantages of this site are obviously the access to the port infrastructure close by, the room for expansion here, and the ability to attract investment in critical maritime services. So more than just an infrastructure project, this initiative also represents an opportunity to develop skills and create jobs here in Fiji. And people will know that's a big priority of mine from the time I've been here, is about developing and using local talent in all the work that Australia is supporting. So the report highlights the need for an expanded technical workforce, including shipbuilders, welders, marine engineers and technicians. And by investing in vocational training and partnerships with local institutions, we can ensure that Fijians are equipped with the skills needed to take up these roles. And we are committed to working with the Government of Fiji to support these endeavours. Looking ahead, the next phase of the project, Stage 2, will focus on finalising the design, developing a business case and laying the groundwork for the project's implementation. This includes some early works here on site on which we stand today, such as survey works and environmental assessments to accelerate the progress. The journey ahead will require continued cooperation, but the foundations have been set for a transformative initiative that will drive Fiji's maritime industry going forward. We are very proud to support the Prime Minister and the Government of Fiji's leadership and vision to help make this project a reality. And I would like to thank all stakeholders who've contributed to this study. Your insights and expertise have been invaluable. I'd also like to thank the consultancy team, Arup Australia, who led this piece of work in partnership with the Fijian firm Dockworks, of whom we have representatives here today. Thank you very much for all that work. Australia is proud to stand with Fiji as a Vivale partner in prosperity, security and shared success. This facility will create employment and skills opportunities, strengthen Fiji's economy and ensure that Fiji remains a leader in maritime services for this region. And before I wrap up, while this is my last day in the chair with the authority to make lots of decisions, it will not be the last you see of me. For those of you hoping to get rid of me, I will remain Australia's Special Envoy for the Pacific and Regional Affairs, and in that capacity I will be coming back to Fiji regularly. I look forward to catching up with the many Fijians I call friends, including you, of course, PM. I know I follow you around, but, you know. And, of course, getting along to the big matches. So the one I'm really upset about missing is the Wallaroos versus Fijiana women here in Suva in May. That will be a cracker of a match, but maybe I can get an invite to that, PM. And, of course, I'm really worried about the Wallabies versus the Flying Fijians in Australia in July, given what you did to us in the World Cup, right? So I'm still recovering from that, but I plan to be at that one, so I'm not overly confident about the Wallabies. So I look forward to seeing this project, as well as many others we have put in place in the last 18 months, come to fruition. I'd also really like to acknowledge my team. Louise here has done a fantastic job with her team on this particular project. People know I'll always consider Fiji Vivale, and you will always hold a very special place in my heart. And Vanaka Akalevu, enjoy the day. Thank you.
Your Excellency, your Australian High Commissioner, Fiji, Mr. Ewan McDonald, representatives from the Australian High Commission, the other members of the Diplomatic Corps, senior government officials, PS, tuna turana tivitong, walebui sunarangi, rumbuluinaka. Fiji Ports Corporation Limited board representatives and members, senior management and staff, Wangabi, welcome. No golf this morning. Nisambulunak. I would like to thank the Talatala for the words of wisdom he shared with us this morning. The whole of this week has been filled with incidents where we look over our shoulders at our own history and we do things to change or renew things we had done in the past. In Parliament this week, we introduced the bill to amend the Constitution and try and get it back to the people as the will of the people. Earlier this morning, I was handing over back to Fiji Airports Limited the land in Bunangele, in Namaka, a piece of land that I took away from the Airports Authority in 1987 by the then Compulsory Acquisition Act to be used as a defense establishment looking after the airport. This morning we have decided to, earlier on the commander had agreed for it to be handed back to Fiji Airports Limited for their master plan development that they are going to in the future. And today we're here to receive this report about the establishment of the re-establishment of Fiji's shipbuilding and ship repairs capabilities, something that ended during my time as Prime Minister. So this week, the constitutional evolution or revolution, whichever way you want to look at it, that started in 1987, took another step earlier this week. The land acquired compulsorily by defense in 1987 has been handed over for civilian control, for the protection or the enhancement of international travel. Today, we're bringing back this thing that we sort of gave up during my term as Prime Minister in the late 90s. And today we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we stand. I Sunarangi wa na Momono Tivitongo, na Mumbabu Baleba Turanga, past, present, and emerging leaders. We also thank the Momoni Toke Vindilo and Toke Sangele on their representatives who may be present here this morning. Fiji has a proud legacy within the shipbuilding discipline, one that has played a fundamental role in our maritime history and in economic development. Those that wrote this address totally forgot about only a few kilometers to our left, if you look out into the sea, is Visese in Bunda. There is a little reclamation there, and the area known as First Landing. It's where tradition has it that our forefathers had landed after thousands of miles sea journey from their point of origin to be here. So shipbuilding and sailing and all these things are not new. As the words of the Bible, the words of wisdom brought to us this morning, God has his own time of returning us to past skills, renewing past skills, and also reminding us of our history and where we have come from. And we have had a proud legacy within the shipbuilding discipline, one that has played a fundamental role in our maritime history and economic development. So it's not new, something that we've had in the past, we are now re-establishing and hoping that it will take us further in our development as a hub of shipping, like we did this morning, is a hub of aviation. Today is a hub for shipping between East and West as we stand astride the 180th meridian here in Fiji. In the years following our independence, our shipyards, Fiji Ships and Heavy Industries Limited, and the government shipyard were regional leaders in ship construction and maintenance. The MV Reef Endeavour, built in 1994 during my term as my second term as Prime Minister, was the last vessel constructed by the government shipyard, symbolizing the final chapter of our shipping operations of that era. However, our history stands as a testament to our ability to re-establish, as the words of the Bible said today, reminded us today, with God's help, with God's direction, re-establish ourselves as a key player and our vision to achieve that on a larger scale than ever before. The Fiji coalition government, somebody suggested this week that it should be the Fiji Government of National Unity, in partnership with the AIFFP, has taken a decisive step to ensure that this vision becomes a reality. I'm reminded that the Honourable Minister for Works and Infrastructure had sent in his apologies, and only a few, maybe even 5 hours ago, asked his Assistant Minister to be here representing him. That's why he sneaked in late. He was given orders this morning to replace Honourable Tiswau, who is not well enough to travel and be here with us today. Through the AIFFP, Arup Australia has carried out this important study that will lay the groundwork for the establishment of a world-class shipbuilding facility that will position Fiji as a hub of maritime engineering, ship construction, and repair services in the Pacific region. The location where we stand today marks the precise site where the shipbuilding facility will be constructed and operated. And when we came to look, I said, without any knowledge, no skills, no wisdom on shipbuilding, I said, this is a perfect site. And the study has concluded that it is a good site.
It is.
Well done. The construction of the site will be undertaken in a phased approach, as you will see in the report that you now hold. With initial development occurring right here and later expanding into the Public Works Department site next door. And the lady responsible for this project had a very comfortable morning where she had to convince the minister and his PS to give up the site with a, was it easily or not very easily? They agreed, and they will eventually relocate towards the interior, towards the back of Lautoka. The new built facility, the newly built facility will be managed by Oceania Shipbuilding and Engineering Limited, a government company formed to oversee its operations and ensure the success of this venture. As we move into the next phase, we remain committed to fostering partnerships that will strengthen our technical capacity and ensure that Fiji's shipbuilding industry is not just competitive regionally, but also competitive globally. Ladies and gentlemen, the benefits of this initiative for a small economy such as ours cannot be overlooked. This important venture will not only open up career pathways and employment, but it will also drive the development of a newly skilled workforce. Through the enabling production of and maintenance of critical maritime assets, we will also enhance our national security and disaster response capabilities, an important component of assuring the welfare and protection of the best interests of our citizens. As we commemorate this milestone, I must acknowledge that it is a very fitting day today, March the 8th, which marks the International Women's Day, a global celebration of the contributions and achievements of women in our society. So I'll have to apologize for probably missing out the rest of this morning's program. I have to be at the start of the girls' game, the women's game, and probably cut short whatever entertainment we're going to have after this. The shipbuilding industry, like many other fields, has traditionally been male-dominated. However, as we rebuild our position, we will strive for equal opportunities for women in all roles within the industry. And through the initiative, the government will remain committed to fostering inclusive growth by encouraging more women to pursue careers in maritime professions. Through such inclusive growth, we can strengthen our nation's resilience, innovation, and further progress our development agenda. Building and revitalizing the shipping industry and systems require a united effort. As we are embarking on a new chapter, and it has only been possible with the help of our friend, the Australian High Commissioner and the Australian government, for whom we are very, very grateful. We acknowledge with gratitude the Australian government for their continued support through the elevated Vuvale partnership. Earlier in the week, I said that Fiji cannot be considered as a beggar nation, as a beggar country. Our soldiers fought with the Australian forces to protect Australia and the Pacific. We have played our role. We cannot be beggars anymore. We're equal players on the global stage. It would be remiss of me if I did not acknowledge the services of His Excellency, Mr. Ewan MacDonald, as he approaches the conclusion of his tenure as the Australian High Commissioner to Fiji. And as he mentioned, he will continue to be the Special Envoy for the Pacific. I do not know what he will be trying to promote for Australia, because Australia is already part of our Vuvale, but we will welcome you back for whatever reason you can convince your government to send you back for. Mr. MacDonald has been a steadfast partner and an exceptional representative of the Australian government, playing a pivotal role in advancing our Vuvale aspirations. His invaluable contributions, and particularly his diligence to facilitating this project, will leave a lasting impact on Fiji's development, and I express my sincere gratitude to him for his services. I also extend my sincere thanks to AIFFP for their commitment to this initiative. I'm glad that the preliminary work has progressed well. We very much acknowledge AIFFP's support in revitalizing Fiji's shipbuilding industry and transforming the nation into the Pacific's major port of entry and transshipment hub, leading to increased opportunities, specialized skill sets, and economic stimulation. Special thanks is also due to the team at Arup Australia for their immense dedication and hard work in delivering this important study and contributing towards our vision for building a greater Fiji. As we move forward, let us embrace this opportunity with determination and a shared sense of purpose. Together, we will build a stronger, more resilient Fiji, one that is ready to sail toward the future of innovation, economic prosperity, and maritime excellence. With these words, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Let this report serve as a catalyst for revitalization. And once again, I acknowledge the Australian government and your team for the event today, and it is with great pleasure that I launch this study report. Minabolevu, Danebat, and thank you very much.